Welcome to Gravity, the podcast about pulling clients into your real estate business. If you're a real estate agent trying to grow your business, this is the podcast for you. So sit back and relax and enjoy the ride. So we've talked about a lot of organic marketing. Have you tried any paid marketing?
I have, and I have not had as much luck with the paid.
Oh, good. But this is fun for conversation. We're doing a podcast on marketing. So tell me a little bit about what you've done on the paid side of things, and then what's your experience with that? Obviously, it wasn't positive.
Okay, so I spent probably a couple $100 boosting posts, and it was like getting all kinds of attention and all kinds of outreach or in the insights on the Facebook stuff was like really great. And then there was no response to it, no human response to it. There was all the tracking information and then Facebook, of course, well, you want to do a boost it again? And I'm like, no,
so what
I
were you
didn't get
boosting?
anything out of it.
Out of curiosity,
a listing that I had.
So you're boosting a property for sale.
Yes.
So you have to work under their special housing
There's
parameters. There's a setting on their ads. Like if you try to run an ad for a house without the special ad category being checked, they will flat out reject it and not boost the ad. So hopefully you were able to do that and the ad actually ran. But yeah, that's a tricky one if you're looking for a direct response because you're marketing a property. I've actually done some of those ads. We actually do get some response, but we're running a lot of, we're casting a wide net for that. So you did some boosting. I wonder, so you said it was a listing. Have you tried to boost any other kind of your posts? So
I have tried those, how much you spend on rent every month, and let's talk about what it could cost you if you own a home for that same amount of rent. I've tried doing that and boosting that too, and even a sponsored ad, and it was not getting the right people. And so when did you try this? Ooh, that was probably 6 months after I got my license. I did it a lot. And then I just kind of moved away from the paid stuff after a while because it wasn't. I never got any money from it.
You weren't getting anything
from any of the paid stuff. Nothing.
Yeah.
Nope.
It's hard to keep spending money on that when you're getting nothing. I will say that I would recommend to continue trying. And I know people don't like to hear that because it is difficult when you're spending some money. The great thing about Facebook is that you can spend little baby amounts of money that's comfortable enough to sample and try things until you find something that's going to give you a response. So when I start running a campaign, I may start with $5 a day, $10 a day, small amounts. I may run the ad for 7 days. You don't get a ton of reach. It's small. We're testing. Run it, test it, see what kind of engagement you're getting, what kind of reactions you're getting. Try different things. Try different call to actions. Try to find an offer, something you can do. There's a million different variables that you can throw into the creative side of creating the ad. In your specific case, if you got actually into the ads in the ad manager, you can start pinpointing interest. So you could go back into Facebook and pinpoint people that are interested in horses and real estate and cross-reference those two and try sampling that at $5 a day, $10 a day. Spend, $35 a week, see what kind of response you're getting. And then if you start seeing something that's working, then you start putting more money into the thing that's working. So you're not alone, by the way. First off, Facebook is very difficult. So even the things that I'm talking about doing now have taken me 6 months to figure out how to do, how to do.
And they keep changing it up and not
they change
telling
it
you
constantly,
that they're changing it.
And they are not consistent.
Right.
It's all over the place. But it's powerful. It's very powerful.
Very.
So I'll give you an example with my flooring business right now. We started out boosting posts probably in May and April. And we were getting traction. We had a few that went well. We had a few that didn't go so well. Again, testing. And over the summertime, we started getting better at it, started increasing the budget. And we went from getting 2, 3, 4 leads a week to 2, 3, 4 leads a day to right now we're averaging over 20 leads a day. from our advertising. Now my budget's now over $6,000 a month, but for the return on my investment, it's an unbelievable deal. So I will advocate, stick with it. Go back, try it again. It will be worth it if you just stick with it. Look at other ads, try to find things that may be working, try to get creative. You seem like a very creative person, so I don't think you'll have any trouble with that. And then test. Spend a little amounts of money, test it out, wait to see the reaction. And when you finally get that thing that works, you will find something that works. I promise you.
Okay.
I've got ads that are working like astronomically right now, and all the bad ones I've gotten rid of, and now I just keep fine tuning. And then I even test against the ones that are working. So I have one that's working right now where I have a price in it, and then I have another one that's the same exact ad with no price in it, and I'm comparing them against each other. Because you can drill down so deep in these ads, and then you can create interest and do all kinds of stuff. So I would recommend keeping at it. There's huge value in there. If you can unlock that and you find the right messaging, you can crush it.
So how long did it take you to figure it out? Did you get where you are now with that?
You learn really quick when you're spending money.
Yeah.
You do. You're paying attention. You're on it. You got to give it like 6 or 7 days.
Okay.
What a lot of people do is they put it out there one day and then like, oh, I didn't get any response. Like, let me change it. No, worst thing possible. Because Facebook wants to make you suffer for a little while before they give you the reward. And I'm joking when I say that, but it's an algorithm. Mm-hmm. And the algorithm is learning who your audience is going to be that's going to engage with that information. It's learning all the time, and it's refining. You don't see it. You don't know it's happening. It's happening. You can feel it eventually. Because what happens now for me, when I try to run a new campaign or I turn one off, I actually take a huge step back in all of my ads. Even though I left an ad that was working perfectly on, the fact that I turned one off and started a new one, it's now almost penalizing the other one because it's trying to figure out, all right, well, how much should I reallocate to this new ad? It's crazy. It's doing all kinds of stuff behind the scenes that you just don't know about. And so you got to sort of make adjustments and let it sit for a little bit, so you can see what the actual results are going to be based on the adjustments Facebook's made with your advertising. So it's very powerful. You have to have some patience with it. And I know it's difficult to be patient with it. And I'm sure, when you're doing your research, like you don't know if it's going to work. Mm-hmm. So you spend a couple $100, you're like, oh, this isn't working at all. Like delete, quit. And you're not alone. A lot of people do that. And I'm not entirely convinced Facebook doesn't want you to do that, because I think they made their platform so difficult, so that you'll go hire an ad agency to do it for you.
That could be too.
They have a lot of agency-driven tools, and I'm like, man, like you have to really be an expert to do this correctly. And I almost think they set up that way on purpose, because they're smart people at Facebook. Mm-hmm. If they wanted you to figure it out, they would have made it super intuitive. So I think that's one of the things that goes on there. But anyways, try it. Go back, sample. Don't spend a ton of money, a little bit of money you can afford to lose. It's not exactly Vegas. Eventually you'll hit the machine, but it's worth the investment.